What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the engaged one at Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host. I'm feeling really good about today's show because we got a lot of chaotic energy going on, both just like us on the show and just how the show is happening in general. So I'm excited about this.
If that wasn't enough chaotic energy for you, he's the future class of video games. Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Tim, if you were a pill, what effects would you have?
That's what I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's going to be a good thing to talk about later. But first, Greg, do you want to explain what's happening?
I don't know what's happening. Andy was here
either.
earlier. I went to get water, and now the Hispanic heartthrob Texas Treat Latino Heat clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. The Globetrotting Headshot Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv. Andy Cortez is not in any of the picture boxes. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
The lights kind of started getting to me, and Tim was like, if you just want to be off camera like Kevin does so you could run it and not be like panicking whenever if I need to bring anything up. Now I'm off camera, but I'm right here anyway. I'm part of the show. Hey, everybody.
The big thing there is that this week Kevin took the whole week off, which means that Barrett's running all the shows, which means that when there's times that we have to record two shows at once, like right now with the XCast being recorded, Andy was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna step up. I'll do the recording. But now he's full on cosplaying, role playing as Kevin. You're definitely role-playing right now. But
are you wearing the brimless hat right now?
Yeah, describe the cosplay.
Oh, interesting. Well, hold on. Before we talk about my cosplay, now YouTube chat can see us, because I didn't know I had to click live on the YouTube website, too. I click start streaming on OBS, thinking it's all going, and I'm looking at chat, and nobody's reacting to anything. It's just... It's been a fucking disaster.
It's been such a week without Kevin. Because I don't know if you guys caught the Twitch stream earlier today that we did, which is Thursday for the people that are obviously going to listen to this later. It's a fucking trash fire of an opening of a stream.
I almost
ruined
like
every single thing that could have went wrong.
I almost destroyed a whole Resident Evil stream.
Andy almost deleted his Resident Evil save.
Trying to run everything on my own is fine. Like, it's half fine if I'm trying to run it to Twitch, but I didn't know there was a button here on YouTube as well. I'm looking at chat and I'm seeing Lexi G talking to people, and there's just not a whole lot of conversation about what's happening on screen. I'm expecting where's Andy, or cool jingle Andy, or damn, I wish Andy was here, and like damn, Andy should have been here. Like, I'm leaving now, but I look and there's nothing happening. But now
you did a really great jingle. So to catch everybody up, Kevin's on vacation for a week, so Andy has to do it. But the lights are hurting Andy's eyes, so he's cosplaying as Kevin with a brimless hat off camera, sitting there, and he did the musical jingle because he didn't have the intro on his own. You do it again because it was real good. Crushed it.
To be honest with you, Greg, like the people on YouTube watching this as the VOD, they would have heard the intro and all that other stuff because I was recording already, you know.
I know, but I'm saying for the people watching live now, like Jordan Vickers, Joe Mertens, Lexi G, Phoenix Duff. Yeah.
How does it make you feel that, you know, for years it was just a couple of us in a spare bedroom, garbage truck on fire, making mistakes left and right of just like, hey, we're just trying to fucking get by. And here we are, whole new generations of Kind of Funny, and it's still the same old shit. You know what I mean? We taught them so well. Just roll with it, baby. We
taught them where the bar was and to never try to get, you know, you're never going to get above it. Something will always bring you down. Even when Kevin isn't here, he will bring you down to his level.
Just here's the bar, the standard bar. Just know where it is. We're not expecting you to hit it. We're not expecting you to care at all. Just know that it's there. Cool. High bar, high standard. No.
And so you're talking about, obviously, when the YouTube kids saw it, but not the people watching live on patreon.com/kindoffunny, you're like, you want to explain what's going on. Not only is everything we just talked about happening, on top of that, this podcast is a whole day early because Nick got a vaccination, his second vaccination. He went down for the count because, of course, this old man, you know what, Blessing, you like to make fun of, you know, how old, of course, Jeffy Grub is.
Jeff Grubb,
but Nick's got a good 20 years on Jeffy Grub. So, of course, he's sleeping like Rip Van Winkle right now.
To life.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, Joey Noel food poisoning.
Yep.
Do we believe it?
No.
Do we believe it?
Oh, 100%.
The other person who was drinking wine nonstop with me yesterday? I'm still here doing shows.
She didn't get.
I opened a second bottle of wine yesterday while I was.
She didn't get the food poisoning from the wine, right? Like that's not a thing that.
No, he's just saying that she's hungover as fuck.
Food poisoning. It's like when you call in sick to work. You're like, I have food poisoning, but you really just hungover.
Yeah, like old Jack called in sick, and he's like, I'm not feeling too good, boss. And then you hear everybody, and then it's like, well, yesterday was the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look at your Facebook.
He was fucking hammered.
It seemed like you were great last night.
He was partying
It's like when I said that I was getting my wisdom tooth removed last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've had up to 6 or 8 wisdom teeth removed so far. So it's
Don't worry
interesting
about
how
it.
they keep
Don't stop counting. Just stop counting.
Blessing
I might have another one soon.
It's like when your fourth grandma dies.
It was Blessing's molar. It was his molar that he got removed.
I had another tooth removed.
My favorite thing about this
random teeth removed now
is, obviously Joey, she has food poisoning, and we all believe that it wasn't a snake bite, it wasn't anything else for sure. But I do love that kind of funny, and I say this as somebody that like could make this decision. From now on, if you're hungover, you could just tell people. you get the day off. That's how it works. It's kind of funny.
First off, no, we would just make that the content. I definitely know there's podcasts I've hosted here where I'm like, I'm so fucking
yeah, totally. But I love all this. But you alluded to this earlier, Greg. But today I had a freak out panic moment where I woke up and some of the first Slacks I saw, I knew Kevin wasn't going to be on in review today. We're doing Ninja Turtles 2, or at least we were supposed to. And I was like, okay, cool. We're down, Kev. It's fine. He'll send me his thoughts, his ranking. We're going to be cool. Then Joey Slacks me, is like, hey, I think I had food poisoning. I'm not feeling good. I'm like, totally cool. All good. Whatever. Just send me your thoughts. I was like, 3 people on the show. That's enough. Then Nick Slacks me. Hey, man, I'm really not feeling good. I'm going to send you the doc. You can read the script for it, for the plot that I wrote. And I was like, cool. At this point, it's not just going to be me and Andy.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it if you guys did it and it was just you and Andy for interview with everybody else's thing. Or you then brought me in and I'm going off of like my 1992 or 3 whenever I last watched Ninja Turtles 2 recollection. And I'm like, and then fucking Diesel shows up as Super Shredder and he hurt some people.
This is Secret of the Ooze, right?
Yeah.
Secret of the Ooze.
Oh, you gotta hit me up, man. I would have hit you with opinions. I loved when Vanilla Ice came through. Yeah.
Oh, he came through hard. But so now we're gonna record that tomorrow. But what was funny about that even is Nick. Now I told him, I was like, oh, don't worry, Nick. We're gonna do the KF podcast today. We'll get Bless in. Andy will be here. We're gonna have this it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun here. And he was like, oh, that's totally cool. But just to let you know, I wrote the plot specifically for you to read. So now Nick's going to read a plot that he wrote for me to read. And it's like, God, this is about to be a fucking disaster. How excited are you about that, Andy?
Oh, I don't know. It's when Nick tries to kind of do too much, it's exactly what it is. It's too much.
When Nick tries to be funny, he's not just being Nick about it.
You just got to dial it back. Yeah.
I can't wait.
We had a good podcast yesterday with Anna Sale.
We did. We're having a great one right now. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, strap in. Because I as you know, I like to say, usually we come out here. Yeah, that's wine. Here's the thing.
I got whiskey.
Here's the thing the problem I'm running into, Bless. Is that, we'll make a pasta bazool, and I'll want some wine. So I'll open a new bottle. But the problem is I only drink half the bottle. And then Jen, of course, can't drink because she's pregnant. And so then I'm sitting there and the wine goes bad. And so yesterday in the Anna Sale podcast towards the end, I was like, should I open this second bottle? And Anna Sale, she gave a roundabout answer. It was like, no, do not open another bottle. And I opened the other bottle and she was correct. I did not need that other glass of wine. But now I got this whole bottle just sitting here. I might as well have a little.
Yeah, I'm not going to let you drink alone. I'll be right back.
Thank you. Blessing. Well, what a friend. Well, Blessing gets that. What I was saying, everybody, is you picked a good one, listeners. You're going to have a dynamite, romp'em, stomp'em, 2 great topics from us here, all right? Things you've never seen before, probably, kind of. I don't know. But while Blessing's gone, I might as well tell you, of course, this is the Kind of Funny podcast each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Don't want to hurt the wine glass. Each bringing whatever bullshit in their life is going on to bullshit with you about. If you like that, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny. Over on patreon.com/kindafunny. You, of course, can write in to be part of the show. You can get the private link to watch live, just like Madeline Stanley is, Joshy G is, and Jordan Vickers are. Of course, you can get the show ad-free. You can get the show with the exclusive post show we do, along with exclusive content, along with a whole bunch of other post shows and exclusives, all on patreon.com/kindafunny. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. You, of course, can go to youtube.com/kindafunny, roosterteeth.com, and podcast services around the globe twice a week to get brand spanking new episodes to see what's going on in our lives.
Can I interject really quick? There's a new segment I'm starting right now.
Hey, everybody. It's
called,
a new segment, and it's here.
It's called Missed Connections, and basically what it is you interject and tell a story about a joke you wanted to tell on a prior podcast, but the timing came and went. But now enough time has passed by to where you could do it and it'd feel okay. So when Anna Sale's talking about her OBGYN, talking to her about her sex life, and, Anna Sale makes a little reference to her OBGYN, like, yeah, well, when you have a kid, not a whole lot of action's happening. And then the OBGYN was like, oh, what's that all about? Like, talk to me about that. And she was like, wow, it was very nice of this OBGYN to like ask me. And it almost felt like an interview. And then what I imagine is the OBGYN look at the camera after a bit and be like, and now a word from our sponsors. Like it was just a podcast the whole time, Greg. Wouldn't that have been a funny joke had I said it?
That would have been great, Amy.
Cool.
I do really appreciate it.
I think she would have liked it.
That reminds me of a joke that I saw that fucking killed me a couple days ago that James Davis makes. I imagine he's a Patreon producer. If he's not a Patreon producer,
he is.
Month.
Not this month. This month, our Patreon producers are Joshua Schroeder, Delaney Twinning, Julian the Gluten-Free Gamer, and Steve Powers. Today, we're brought to you by Babbel, but I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's bask in how funny James Davis is.
James Davis put out one of my favorite tweets I've ever seen, where he just says, "No, I'm not a snack at all, nor am I the whole damn meal. Baby, I'm fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door."
That's really good. That's really good.
Damn.
That's a podcaster if I ever seen this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I am lying, I am dying. I promised you a hell of a show, so let's get right into it. We start on patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can write in to be part of the show with Connor Daly, who is in desperate need of our help. But more than anybody's help, Tim, the hype man Gettys.
I was hoping it was going to be me. I need to be
Kinda
taken
Funny
off
crew.
the bench.
Oh no, this is trust me, we need you big on this, and I know you're going to be able to deliver. All right. Hey, Kinda Funny crew. With all the talk of life milestones recently, I thought I'd write in for help with my own. After dating for 2.5 years, I'm preparing to propose to my girlfriend. He'll be another engaged one. We've been waiting till we were both vaccinated so we could get engaged somewhere outside of our neighborhood. Now that we both are, I need your help to plan my proposal. How should we get engaged? An intimate garden proposal? A romantic damsel in distress rescue from the clutches of the grabbler? You decide. A few stats. This is a seasoned user, obviously, of this show. She and I are both in our late 20s. We live together in Baltimore, Maryland. She is a biologist, and I work in tech. She's the world's biggest Tomb Raider fan, and I'm your typical PlayStation fanboy. In all seriousness, any tips would be greatly appreciated. If additional info is needed, my phone number is, and Connor Daly leaves his phone number here. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Greg Miller, and I go above and beyond. Please welcome to the show, Patreon supporter of Kinda Funny, Connor Daly. Hello, Connor!
Hey, Greg, how's it going?
It's good, man. How are you? We just read your letter here. Everybody's been briefed on the situation. Tim is ready to crack his knuckles and make the perfect thing for you. Are you prepared?
I am so ready. I have been thinking about this a ton. I've been thinking about what my options are, and I've been thinking about what the Kinda Funny crew could come up with, and I think we can make some magic here today.
I think we can too. For everybody at home who's saying, hey, I see in the chat, people are excited. This is very interesting for everybody. They're excited. One thing to quickly point out is that Connor responded to my DM on Twitter about this about 20 minutes ago. So this is happening very fast in Connor's life. Are you nervous, Connor? And would it help to pour a drink? Blessing and I are both drinking.
You know, I didn't want to run away from my screen just in case you started, but
sure.
But I might if we have a minute.
Oh, we got plenty of this is our podcast,
Connor.
please.
All right, yeah, this is the way to go. This is preparation for the real event. Got to practice having nerves now, you know.
Exactly. He's doing
now,
it, everybody.
Connor, while you're doing that, Tim, what's going through your mind right now? Because I know as Greg was asking the questions, I'm sure you were formulating. You're trying to figure out what info you needed from Connor in order to make this thing work.
Born ready for this. This is my entire life's kind of mission, is helping people do this stuff, and it's a pretty simple process at this point. I've boiled it down. I understand the key things that you got to do, and Connor sounds like so far he has a good head on his shoulders. We'll have to see, and I what I'm most intimidated by is the fact that he is a person that will be talking back, not just a name that we're saying and able to just joke about and talk shit about. You know what I mean? If I have a question, that question will get answered. So this is
exactly.
Greg.
We can't just bullshit around about this.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that you're keeping us on our toes. I will say though, one I always like to take the facts and like kind of see where it takes me. And with them talking about Baltimore, talking about
Terrapins.
Sorry, what?
The Terrapins.
Baltimore Terrapins. That's a college. Terrapins.
University of Maryland.
Yeah, University of Maryland. Yeah. I remember back in the 90s, Greg, the Big Duke versus Terrapins. Do you remember that, Connor? The big Blue Devils games?
Duke
Big
versus
Duke.
the Terrapins.
I am not a Maryland person.
Well, we'll get to you in a second, Connor. All right, shut your yap till we call on you.
Let me tell you all about it then.
No, here's my thing is like, I do want to call it out real quick that I am upset there that Tim doesn't know it because I do believe there's a Jay-Z lyric that referenced the Terrapins.
Oh. Yeah. He has many lyrics. I don't know all of them.
Well, this is one of the ones that I know, which means it's one of his most popular.
Terrapins.
Yeah. Anyways,
it's like a turtle. It's like a turtle. It's like a snapping turtle.
Imagine Boris on a flag. That's it.
Terrapins.
Boris, if he was made to be violent. Yeah.
He's very tiny though.
What does that mean?
It's one of several small species of turtle.
Here's where but here's where we go, all right? And I understand maybe this isn't a song you understand. Maybe you're not a big as Jay-Z fan as I am, all right? But the lyrics go like this. H to the Izzo, V to the Izza. Faux shizzle, my nizzle used to dribble down in VA. Was hurting them in the home of the Terrapins. Got it dirt cheap for them.
Oh.
Plus, if they was short with cheese, I would work for them.
With them. Yes.
Brought in wheat. We're already past it, but you can just see it. This just flows off the tongue.
This is oh my gosh, this is flashing me back to pre-quarantine when Greg read the lyrics for Wet Ass Pussy.
There's no way that was pre-quarantine.
Music, all right? You guys don't understand.
Oh, that wasn't pre-quarantine? It was definitely it was a different song then. It was a different song. This is around like the episodes where we had why do you revere the Big D? This is around that time.
That era. Yeah. That treasured era. Blessing, do you know who produced Izzo?
Was it Kanye?
It was Kanye.
Yeah.
One of his first breakout moments of producing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I remember it well.
Yeah. I always knew the line, but I didn't know what the word was, Greg.
No, you do. So that means it was in Maryland. It was in Maryland. Now
yeah,
you know.
Okay, cool.
I know a lot of from that summer I spent in DC where I worked at UCG, but we'll talk about that in another podcast. For now, here's my question.
What do they call that? The triangle? The
Bermuda?
Tri-state, I guess that's what it is.
Bermuda Triangle, Tim. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And everybody's saying it was my neck, my back. That is what I read.
Oh, right.
And crushed, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Connor, here's my question for you. The first thing I would start with in your letter before we let Tim Gettys go to work here, the surgeon as we call him, you said, I'm preparing to propose. We've been waiting until we're both vaccinated. So this is not a surprise engagement. She knows this is coming?
No, she knows this is coming. We've been looking for rings together.
Okay.
The vaccination thing is just we didn't want to have to get engaged in our living room. We wanted to be able to go out, do something fun, maybe travel or whatever.
So are you so obviously she knows you're going to propose, she's going to say yes probably. The question would then become are you trying to plan the proposal with her, or is it all right? Cool, we know it can happen, so I can do whatever I want, and I'm going to try to catch you off guard. Are you doing in the office? Remember Andy in the office when Jim kept fake proposing before he really proposed?
I do remember that. Yeah. Well, I mean, we had several moments of is he going to propose right here? And then he tried. And remember Andy, the other guy, ended up proposing before him, just ruined the whole fucking vibe.
Yeah, of course. All right, sorry, Connor, back to you in your real life.
Yeah. So the latter was correct. Yeah. So it is a surprise. I have freedom to do whatever I want.
Great. Perfect.
And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Timothy Gettys, step to the floor.
I have a couple questions because Greg, thank you for starting there. First question is, I know that right now you're situated in this Maryland situation, but are you from Dallas, Texas originally?
I am not. I'm from New Orleans.
Okay.
Originally, girlfriend is from North Carolina.
Okay, because I was trying to find some a picture of you somehow, and I found an Instagram for what I thought was you, and the avatar has a picture of the Golden Gate Bridge in the back. I'm like, oh, maybe you went to a kind of funny live event, maybe something's happening here. And whoever this man is very, very attractive, has very large arms. So I'm just going to imagine that this is you for the sake of this.
I DM'd him. I can send you his profile. You can look at his arms here. I will say he's very handsome.
Okay, good. Because that's always a help. But I do have the question.
See,
Okay,
I run a lot. My thighs are bigger than my arms.
Gotcha. Okay.
Whose aren't, you know?
So here we are. You've been together how long?
About 2.5 years.
Okay, cool. That's good. How much does she expect this coming anytime soon?
Fairly high.
Okay.
Yeah, we're looking at rings. We're, for tax reasons, we might be getting married this year regardless.
Go for it, man. That's the right call. But when it comes to, you said you're looking together at rings. Is that how involved are you and her together in the ring shopping process?
So we've been going out, like, trying to get her preferences, trying to figure out exactly what she wants. Like, I was trying to determine, like, does she have her heart set on a specific ring, or does she want to be surprised? Like, does she like halos or all the different diamond words that they throw out that I, now know what they mean?
All about the C's. All about those C's, baby. The cut, the clarity, the constipation. I don't remember the rest of them, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I have some freedom there. And it's, she doesn't have her heart set on a particular one, but I kind of have some ideas about the styles she likes. So that'll also be a surprise.
So key step number 1 is, do you have a woman/man on the inside? Is there a sister? Is there a best friend? Is there somebody that you were close to that is just as close to her as you are?
I do. I have a couple people I can go to. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Good. Because I feel like having some help is going to help you no matter what, whether it's a big extravagant plan or if it's a small thing. Just having somebody help things go well is going to be cool. And on top of that, like, I like the situation you're in. You've looked at rings with her, so you kind of understand what she's looking for and what she wants, but also you still get to have your kind of like, you get to be the one to choose it, which I think like helps. Like that adds a little like personal touch to it that I think she will in the long run really appreciate. But tip number 1 is just listen to her. Don't go crazy on the ring. Don't go get what you want. What she says she wants, that's what she wants. Get that. Do that. 100%.
All right, sounds good. Taking notes right here.
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah. So
right now, what are you thinking in terms of trying to surprise her? Also, does she know you're in the room talking to us about this? What did you do? Because you live together.
She is playing The Witcher 3 2 rooms over, and I said, turn up the volume and stay out.
I love it. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
This is a good relationship. I like this a lot.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff. So that's the next step then. Step 1 is definitely figure out the ring, come up with a timeline for the ring. Rings get weird because like you might be ordering it. Who knows when you're actually going to get it? Make sure you don't do something stupid. If there's any shared thing you have with her, don't use that credit card or any way of payment that she'll be able to see. Smart. Don't get caught is essentially what I'm saying when it comes to paying for the ring or actually getting the ring or hiding the ring somewhere. But also don't lose the ring. All of these key facts, right? Yeah. But then after that, that's the fairly obvious stuff, but I've seen way too many people mess that up. Then it is actually about coming up with the plan of what you're going to do to propose to her. It all starts with one question. Is she extra or not?
She would like extra.
All right.
Good.
Tim Gettys does extra.
Baby, let's go. No, so that's a very good thing to know because at the end of the day, you're proposing to her. It's not for you. It's not for anyone else. It is for her. So whatever it is that she would make her happiest is what you should be aiming to do. So if she wants extra, then the fun begins. That's when you need to ask yourself, what would blow her mind the most? What is something that is so core to you guys that you just doing that is going to be enough? And then how do you turn that up to 11? Here's an example from where I'm coming from. I knew I was going to propose to Gia. And I was like, what is something that is so us that is going to mean a lot to her? And I knew that both of us being born and raised in San Francisco meant a lot to her, means a lot to her. And so I was like, okay, it's obviously going to be in San Francisco. But what is the most quintessential SF thing that we could possibly do? And I came up with a couple options. But then I turned it up to 11. I'm like, but what's the most insane? And I came up with the option of I wanted to propose to her on the top of the Golden Gate Bridge, the highest points. And I wanted to have Sean Finnegan fly drones over to record it because that would just been the coolest thing ever.
For a real quick aside, hey, Blessing at AOE Jr. If I said, hey, for Kind of Funny, we're going to walk up the Golden Gate Bridge.
Absolutely not. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Making sure, just get a temperature check on
terrifying.
Yeah, not a chance in hell.
No.
Yeah. But the amount of phone calls that I made to the city was surprising, and the way that they spoke to me, I'm gonna say disrespectful. All right, you can say no a lot nicer. Okay.
Okay. Fair.
City of San Francisco. And also the YouTube videos that I watched of people that did it anyway are horrifying. People
whoa! People went up without like
it's like hardcore parkour type shit. People just literally. It's like 11 p.m. and they're just climbing up and the wind's blowing. I'm like, y'all are fucking crazy. But anyways. I digress. What it comes down to is that was the plan. That didn't work out. So I had to dial it back and, you kind of keep going until you find something that works. That's how I ended up with the Alcatraz plan and the rest is history, blah, blah, blah. But that's my question to you is when I ask you, what is the thing that is most core to who you are? And when I say you, I don't mean you. I mean you and her, your relationship. What is the thing that makes you guys tick?
The answer is cats.
Cool. That's weird, but I can work with that.
I had 2 cats. She had 2 cats. Now we have 4 cats. But I'm curious if that's the right way to go for the proposal. What I was kind of thinking, and just like where my head has been at, is like her friends. Because I think the thing that's been hardest for her the last year and a half is just not seeing everybody and being distant and like having to hang out with me all the time. And so I guess the thing that I was trying to think of is like, how can I try to involve as many people in the process as possible? And, could I fly people in that she wouldn't suspect or something like that? And like maybe a proposal somewhere and then whisk her off to a party or something like that with like everybody or something like that.
Always good. So I like where your head's at because like I was saying, there's the first step's the ring. Second step is like figuring out like what the actual plan is. Start crazy and dial it back until it's actually feasible.
Yeah.
But the third thing is it's all about levels of surprise because the thing is there's that first moment of the actual engagement itself that hopefully if you do this right is a surprise. But then people don't expect more surprises. That's the key. You got to keep the surprises coming. And that's where engagement parties with all the friends, that's what I did. And it was the best because I got Gia multiple times throughout the day. She did not expect the end of the day to end with all of her friends and family in a room together. Right. So definitely, dude, work backwards from that. Start talking to all the friends. Or actually, don't do that. Do not tell anybody that doesn't need to know about this until they need to know about it. That is another key piece of advice. I didn't tell people that were like steps away from like the core inner circle until like 2 days before it was happening, just because I needed them to be at the right place at the right time. But people will fuck it up, and you don't want things to get fucked up. But definitely, if she, obviously in this world that we're in right now, not having the ability to see your friends has been a big moment for everyone. And when they are able to return to that normalcy, it's going to be huge. So with that, I think that that's kind of a really, really key thing that you can kind of take advantage of right now in terms of making this an even bigger moment than it could be. So if you could act soon, that could be really great to like make one of the first times, if not the first time, that all of her friends are in the same room in a year be this big celebration, this big moment. I think that'd be a major win.
Here's where I want to get.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Here's where I want to bring Blessing and I in off the bench. All right. Talk to me and Bless a little bit about the video game stuff here. How do we get that involved, right? Like you're a PlayStation fan. It isn't about you, as Tim already said. She's the world's biggest Tomb Raider fan. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh yeah, she loves Lara Croft, especially the recent remakes.
Okay.
She is all about them. She like every Halloween she like cosplays as Lara Croft, and her costumes are too accurate. They're not like symbolic enough that other people don't recognize it. And she's like, no, this is the right belt that she wears in this outfit. Like that kind of level of detail.
Okay.
And so yeah, we play games together all the time. She really enjoys watching games more than playing, and so a lot of times I play and she watches. So yeah, right now we're playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon, and we enjoy all the craziness there. And we do that quite a lot.
Blessing, here's where my mind goes. All right, we're talking. She loves Tomb Raider. She loves the more recent Tomb Raider. Where's your head at, Bless? What do you think?
I mean, in terms of what Tim's talking about, right? In terms of building levels to this shit, I like the idea of finding what connects you two, right? Finding what makes you guys. And it seems like one of those things is one, her friends, right? Her friends mean so much to her. So like do something that culminates in that, right? But in terms of the things that connects you two, right? Video games are one of those things. I like the idea of integrating Tomb Raider or a game that means a lot to both of you in that way. I don't know how you do that though. I think that's the thing that gets difficult. Like, my mind goes to reach out to a voice actor, reach out to somebody involved in Tomb Raider to like help make a surprise.
And there you go.
Ooh.
That's exactly. If only Connor was talking to somebody who knows people who are the Tomb Raider people. If Camilla Luddington got involved with this, Connor, would that be good for your fiance? Of course,
I think she might enjoy that, Greg.
Okay. We're messaging Camilla right now. We'll start the ball rolling there. All right. Because we can get a video message from Camilla Luddington, right? Something like that. Tim, that's back to you. Back to you.
I love.
Thanks for giving me the ball. I'm tossing it back to you.
No, yeah, Greg, you are absolutely in the right place. I love this. This is a fantastic plan. Now, having said that, as with every single proposal ever, any step you take, any decision you make, I'll be watching you. You need to stop and look back and really ask yourself, is this going to be romantic and special for her? The idea of getting celebrities involved can backfire, where it feels like it can be kind of a cheap pop. It feels like it's taking away from the moment being about you guys. If that's not the case, and you're like, no, she's going to love that I made this happen.
Great point.
Then it's great. But you need to ask yourself that every step of the way to make sure that nothing comes off as like, you don't want to. You want her to be the star. Is going to be huge. You want her to be the star. Exactly, Bless. Thank you. But if getting celebrity people involved still makes her the star because she feels like you put in the work to make this happen, then dude, then you won because you're talking to Greg Miller and you got the right people on the job.
Does she like Michael Rosenbaum? Because if you give me 6 months, he might respond to my text message because Rosenbaum's a bum and doesn't respond to that much text message. Would she like? So we can figure out a way to get Camilla Luddington or Tomb Raider in general. We could hit up Square. We could hit up Crystal Dynamics. They've got to have some kind of weird tchotchke they could give. What is there like a Tomb Raider? Some kind of blessing. What, something from Tomb Raider. You put the ring in.
Like a puzzle box or some.
Yeah, they got
shit
something
that is
like
Raider
that.
related.
Megan Marie could help us get that if we want.
A tomb that you can raid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, is there a tomb we can send them to? Yeah, exactly.
No, that's a key thing.
It's the perfect place to get engaged.
Yeah, exactly. In a dark cavernous tomb.
Jokes aside, is there like a Tomb Raider escape room type deal that like doesn't necessarily have to be the center of it, right? But could be like one piece in the process of, hey, plan out a whole day, and like what if you did go to an escape room that is Tomb Raider themed or some shit? I don't know if that exists.
No, but here's
there
the thing,
is. Sci-fi.com's talking about one here.
Oh, well, that's great. But also, and this is the Tim Gettys way. It doesn't need to be the Das Connor way. I really feel like the more that you make it a unique experience that you have created, it's going to be so much more memorable than just taking her somewhere. So one of my friends a long time ago was talking to me about trying to come up with a proposal plan, and his now wife really loves Zelda. And we came up with the plan that this is one of the rare Tim Gettys proposal plans that isn't a video in any way, but came up with a thing where he made like in real life Zelda dungeons, like a dungeon with multiple rooms with like things to figure out. And then like once she got through, it was her birthday. So she wasn't expecting it was going to be a ring, but like the final do, like literally it was in a Zelda chest. You open it up and made the sound with the ring and all that stuff. And it was awesome. How do you do that with Tomb Raider? You know what I mean? And then how do we, on top of that, incorporate whatever Greg can get from all of our amazing hookups and stuff into that? But for my proposal, one of the more subtle things that Gia, anytime I hear her talking to people about, like, because it comes up more often than you think when like Gia's had a couple jobs since I proposed to her, and new people are always like, oh, like how'd you get engaged or whatever. So she tells the story a lot. And a detail she always brings up is that the ring box I had was a rose, and like it was like a fake rose, and you'd open the top and the ring was in it, and that was obviously a Bachelor reference, which meant something to her, and she just loved that. So it's like just whatever the Tomb Raider version of that is, I think that could be really cool too.
I like the idea of like either going to the escape room or building out your own Tomb Raider experience, and that at the end the prize is this message from I forget her name, Greg.
Camilla Luddington.
Camilla, yeah, that is like introducing
Grey's
the
Anatomy.
next thing, which is you. Oh, is she in Grey's Anatomy?
Oh yeah, she's on Grey's Anatomy.
Damn, prolific.
If I may,
but you know what I
mean. Prolific indeed, but if I may interject, the problem that we're running into is that Zelda has her Link. What like Lara Croft needs
the butler.
The creepy butler, the one that follows you around everywhere.
Yeah, that you lock in the fridge.
Oh,
right?
scary. That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I felt like he was my Mr. X nemesis type dude. No matter where I went, just always followed.
I mean, so here's the thing: is you said she's a reboot Tomb Raider fan. Is she a OG Tomb Raider fan as well? Because if she is, I think a good Freezer reference could be pretty good. If she's not, then it absolutely isn't.
Too in the weeds.
Yeah.
I've never heard her bring it up before, so I would be a little nervous there.
Okay.
We're throwing that out. We're not doing that.
Maybe have her play through it first.
You're not a real Tomb Raider fan. Play through this. Okay.
Yeah, I really like where we're going here with kind of this like kind of custom experience, a little bit of puzzle solving or something like that's kind of activated. One thing with the kind of Camilla part that I'm reminded of, Tim, when you did the Disneyland proposal for your friend, the way that it kind of started was you had her watch a video that was like, oh, this is like a dance video. Can you watch this? And then it transitioned into, was it Curran, I think, who then kind of like took over the video. So I kind of, that's also like an idea on my mind of like, if I wanted her to watch a video, like how could I get her engaged in it? Of like, oh, here, like I need to show you something or whatever. And then like maybe it like cuts over and like Camilla's like,
in the video games is she? Like she's playing Witcher 3 right now, but is she like reading IGN? Is she on video game Twitter? Is that kind of thing?
She's not as much the video game culture kind of person. She likes playing
that
more.
Works to our advantage
because you culture side.
We could get a video, right? We could fake cut a video, right? Of like announcing a new Tomb Raider. You're like, hey, there's a new teaser for a new Tomb Raider, right?
Fuck.
And it is like, it's like,
shit.
hey, there's a new teaser trailer out. You can even do it kind of around E3 or whatever, right? And then like, you could, I don't know what it'll say or whatever, but like, the experience, the adventure of a lifetime. You know what I mean? That kind of crap, right? It looks like it's gonna be Tomb Raider, and then it's like, it mentions you guys. And she's like, what? And then Camilla Lenningson pops up, and it's like voice of Tomb Raider. She's like, oi, governor. I forget what her accent is. She has some kind of accent. And she's like, does she? I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, I'm more wine, everybody. I'm sorry. But you see where I'm going. Everybody, yada, 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 you're engaged. That's how it works.
That is a brilliant idea. I think that's great. That's on the simpler side, and that allows you to kind of even if you wanted to use that video as part of a larger experience or part of like either a jump off to other things or kind of just like a middle point in it. Because the key thing, you bring it up, my friend Curran's proposal, like, and also with Gia's proposal, I did the same thing. The more you can kind of control the scenario and control what she's experiencing, the better. And that's why in both situations, I had them wearing headphones with pre-recorded things I did, because that means they're completely in the world that you have created for them. They're not being distracted by the things around them. They are focused on whatever it is that you've done. The key thing, though, to any proposal, and whether it's a pre-recorded thing or otherwise, is there is the FedEx moment where you realize there's the arrow. There's the breaking of the glass, where once they realize they're being proposed to, the jig's up. It's on. It's happening. And you are then in a countdown till you getting on your knees. So the moment she realizes you're doing something extra over the top and like it's this big plan, it can't be this like 5-hour scavenger hunt or whatever, because she knows where it ends. You get what I'm saying? She's going to be distracted, and at some point it becomes more of a, not a chore, but like the hype is gone. The moment has now turned into like, okay, well, I know I'm going to get proposed to at some point. And like, I'm dumbing it down, and like, it's still going to be exciting, but like, I'm a much bigger fan of like having it be this kind of involved bit that goes on, but then there's the moment of the, oh shit, this is happening. Once that happens, that switch happens, it needs to happen in the next minute
10 seconds, yeah.
Like, it needs to be like, from then on, you're in the end game now. Like, it is like, it's go time, and you're about to be on your knee, and you're about to be given a speech.
God, Tim's doing some like Queer Eye stuff right now, like just giving hard facts, instructions. This is so expertly done by you right now, Tim. This is really impressive.
Proposals are legitimately what I was put on this earth for. I live for this shit.
It's really impressive.
Thank you.
You're doing an amazing job, Tim. I really appreciate all the help here.
I will say, Greg came up with the winning idea. He got it. Like a new Tomb Raider game trailer, especially with E3 coming up, whether or not that means much to her, this is like, it's foolproof. Like we got some magic here.
We're on the move. We have something.
I love that idea.
Okay. I see you team that up, right? You do the trailer, and then you have the friends, and so that's the Tim double whammy, as the kids call it. The Tim Gettys, bing bang boom.
Yes. Now, so that's the thing. Okay, just jumping off of that, the first easy thing in my mind is the trailer ends with some type of date or whatever, right? But that date could even have a location, and it is just the time of whatever party it is that you're throwing, or an address of a friend of the friend's house you're going to, or whatever. That's on you. You can come up with that plan, but I think that's really, really good.
Lara Croft. Sorry, the Lou in the live chat says Lara Croft and the Temple of Cats. That's great. That is great. If I've been thinking about extrapolate out the 4 cats thing into this whole thing.
Yeah, we got to get the cats involved for sure.
Yeah, the cats have to be involved. Yeah. If we might need B-roll, we might need to get B-roll of the cats.
Yeah, we have to get them involved, right, Meow?
You got to watch the musical Cats.
So here's, just like, and again, I don't know if you have the means for this. I know we might not even have the means for this, but in my head, I'm closing my eyes and I'm seeing a trailer for a new Tomb Raider game, right?
Andy's doing the video, right?
It seems very much like an actual new Tomb Raider game, but then I want a like clip or a picture or something in the background, but like enough to grab your attention, but not to be the focus of the shot that one of your cats is in. Because I want her to be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you get that double take thing. You get that great double take.
You got to start building the like, and that's what I was saying about the FedEx moment. It's like before that, it needs to be teases, but you can't oversell it. It can't be that clear. It needs to be like, wait, did I just see what I thought I saw?
Yeah,
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
But then you need to have something else. You're like, whoa, what's happening?
It's like Inception.
Totally. And then you see that one moment that's like, boom. And then once you get that boom moment, oh my God, it's on you. And you have to give that speech and it has to make her.
We did that recently for a fake episode after KFAF was done and canceled already. And somebody hit us up in the DMs and said, hey, I'm a friend of Andrew Goldfarb. And then Goldfarb hit me up and said, hey, my buddy's going to hit you up.
I've never heard of this, man.
I work with him at Insomniac. And he said, look, me and my wife, we love KFAF. Like, we know it's done, but like, is there any way you could help us out with me proposing to her? And Nick and I got together and said, yeah, let's do this. So we made a fake episode and we were like, hey, we know KFAF is done. This is a one-off episode. It's sponsored by NZXT. We're here to show off one of their brand new PCs because Nick is, and we did a whole bit. It felt like a KFAF episode for like the first 5 minutes of it. And then we said, we also have some pretty important news that we want to make a little compilation for, and we want to get your reactions to. So if y'all can record yourselves, great. And they ended up not doing it, Greg. This is more of a... but he was already recording her.
What the fuck?
No. He was already recording her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was secretly recording her.
How have I not heard of this? Why did we not? Is this not up anywhere?
I mean, we have the things to make it. It's just more of a like, is it worth putting it up? And I kind of want to, but it's like it takes time.
Roger is over on the East Coast somewhere.
That's true.
Thumb up his ass.
That's
not
true.
doing anything.
That's true.
All he talks about is PC games. Send him something to do.
Yeah. So we framed it as a community experience, right? We want to get y'all's reactions so that when we see y'all reacting to this thing, we like put it in a big video and just get all the fans reacting or whatever. And then we're like, all right, ready? Are y'all ready to record for real? We're about to do this. And it's like, all right. And I looked at the camera and I was like, look at your fiance or look at him and look at him right now. I said something like that. Some message directly at her. I called her out by name. Sure. Look at your boyfriend, so-and-so. And she kind of, in the video, he sent us the video and it's her kind of like, what? And he looks at her and then he starts proposing to her right there. And she was like, awesome. Did not see this coming at all. And then meanwhile, me and Nick are still in the background like, do you think she said yes? Or what do you think she said?
Oh, that's really good.
And so like the bit just keeps going like, I hope she said yes, man. Like, it'd suck if she didn't. And she said yes. And they're like going to get married now.
That's awesome. Are you going to officiate the wedding?
No, probably not. No, probably not.
Are you going to play the wedding? Are you going to play? Is Ambelina going to play the wedding?
No, I don't know if I'm involved at all. It was just sort of that proposal bit, Craig. I don't know if it...
I mean, I feel like at this point you have to be.
I don't know if it's going to continue or not. But yeah, we're framing this like this whole Tomb Raider thing and new gameplay. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Is it possible to frame it around record your reactions to the fucking whatever the fuck. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, totally. That's
I don't know if
easy
she
to
would
do.
believe that, but you know.
That's a great point. Yeah,
I'm actually motivating her to do it.
Yeah, I think it would be easy enough for you, Connor, to walk in and be like, "Hey, there's a new Tomb Raider trailer, and also Crystal Dynamics is asking people to record their reactions of their biggest fans." You could even get her to cosplay. But she's like, "Put on your cosplay, let's get you in this thing." And that would be like, awesome. "I look like a goddamn moron." I would be happy to be proposed to in my Ghostbusters outfit, so she'd probably be happy in her Lara Croft outfit.
And I think for all of these things too, like you gotta think to yourself, like, would she like this? Would she appreciate?
Yeah, definitely
this?
Tailor it to her. Yeah.
So I'm torn here. If I think it's better to go for like a reaction video or do secret photographer and get like really good pictures.
Both. Here's the thing, man. I said this recently, and I'll say it again. You're never gonna go wrong getting this thing filmed. Like if you end up not liking the video, cool, you don't like the video. But guess what? If you like it, you're gonna fucking love it, and you're gonna watch it the rest of your lives. So I'm always a proponent of like get as many pictures and video as possible to be able to relive the moment, because neither of you are gonna remember as it's happening, because it's gonna be so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't think about doing both. That's a pretty good idea. I like that.
So okay, I came in. I was just going to the bathroom, so I might have missed this, but I think someone was bringing up what she's going to be wearing. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, we were joking around a little bit about it, but then if we were recording her reaction, and how would you sell recording her reaction? We were saying sell it as Crystal Dynamics is asking fans to first time watch it, and then I was like, so you could really sell it and say get in your cosplay.
Totally, because so that is actually a key thing, and at this point, I'm just kind of giving proposal advice because a lot of people ask me this stuff, and like it's relevant to millions of people out there. Not that millions are listening to this, but you get what I'm saying. The key thing is they care a lot about how they look, obviously, especially if it's being photographed or on video. So another element that people don't think about enough is how do you get the nails done, feeling their best, having their nails done. Nails are a key thing because the picture's going to be that they post on Instagram is going to be of their hands. So you need to make sure their nails are done. And that's very hard to do without them catching on to it. And that's why best friends or sisters or whatever are key to kind of like get them off the scent. You know what I mean? I had Gia's sister take her for a manicure for some other shit that was just, it was around Gia's sister's birthday. So she was like, oh, for my birthday, I want to do my nails. Let's go do it together. And then she had her nails done. She was ready for this thing. And that goes a long way because now we have super dope pictures of her hand.
Yeah, so my initial
it was a great build up, and then like
that's all I got there. Yeah.
My initial idea was to do like a fake party, so that I would say like, oh, we're going to this friend's house for this one party, and then say like, oh crap, we got to go pick somebody up, and then like take her off somewhere. So we're already dressed up, we already look nice, and then instead of going to pick up the friend, we go to the engagement spot, and then it's just like, guess what? This party that we're going to, it's not a party for them, it's actually a party for us, and then your friends are all going to be there.
So that's pretty much exactly what I did, where like I said, the party was for my brother's birthday. So I was like, we got engaged in the afternoon, and it was like, oh, later tonight, it's still my brother's birthday we're going to go to, and it's going to be fun, and everyone's going to be congratulating you. But then it was like, once we got there, it was like, it was not for my brother's birthday, it's an engagement party. That's great. So that's always a good thing, and they won't.
That's how I would still play it here too, right? Of like, you do the thing at home, record the video, show the video, great moment. Then you're still going to this party, and it'll be so great to tell people, and like we can kind of, it's whoever's party we're going to, but we kind of get to celebrate too. Yeah, and then you go there, and it's all about you guys.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't think about like not revealing it right away. Yeah.
So I have a plan, and this is a lot. It's a lot, and I don't even know if it is possible. And I might be too in the Tim Gettys get hypes, turn this into a much bigger thing than it needs to be type situation right now. But that's what we're doing here on the Kind of Funny
people
podcast.
Do. That's what people do in this podcast. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this man, Jeff Grubb, but Jeff Grubb has the Summer Game Mess that he's been promoting for the last 2 years. It's not quite E3. It's not quite Summer Game Fest. It's its own thing with this calendar. And he has a bunch of dates. One of the dates on that calendar is my birthday, June 30th, that he put there. He just put Tim's birthday because it was a funny joke because of some tweets.
Yeah.
I say we turn that into a bigger thing. We put Tim's birthday, and then in parentheses, Tim Raider, ? All of that is the random type of dumb puns, dumb little hints, dumb little things that Jeff Grubb would do. You then talk to your girlfriend and you're like, hey, E3 is happening, I'm so excited. You try to explain this to her in some way and just be like, look, there's all these hints on June 30th, or we can figure it out whatever date you're actually ready to do this. Like, it looks like they're hinting at Tomb Raider. We should watch this thing together because I think it's going to be a new Tomb Raider game. That gives you the excuse to watch whatever it is. And then at that point, there's just a fake E3 conference. We can edit that together somehow of just like whether it's old stuff, new stuff, doesn't matter. She won't necessarily know. But then, boom, that's where the Tomb Raider trailer comes in.
I'm coming in and I'm dropping the hammer. You're overthinking it. I appreciate where your head's at. I love it. There's no bad ideas in brainstorming. But I think you might have been in the bathroom when we were talking about, like, she's not dialed into nerd video game culture. Yeah. So it's like, we don't need to go that far into it. And also then it'd be weird that why do you have the trailer on demand? Why have you downloaded the trailer kind of thing, right?
That's what I'm saying is like that. And I'm totally with you. I understand she's not into that. I'm saying that this is on him then to explain it. It'll be like, I think a new Tomb Raider is going to be announced here. We should watch this together.
Or you could do it like we did with KFF, where we uploaded it to our channel and gave him a YouTube private link that was only available. It's like an unlisted link. Yeah, you bring up YouTube, you bring up that link, and up pops a video that is like this special thing. Yeah. And it looks real. It isn't like a downloaded MOV or some shit.
But she's not going to be like, oh, there's 0 views on this. There's 1 view on this thing. It doesn't sound like. Well, it's kind of funny.
Full screen it immediately.
But I mean, like, that's the thing.
I'm just. I
love it. I love it. I just again, I am taking it to the nth degree here. But it's just like, it's the Kind of Funny Game showcase, and we started off and there's a minute and a half of just bullshit like announcements that aren't real, and then it transitions into the Tomb Raider thing, and then boom, that's it. But it is a live stream, Greg. That's the thing. It's like it's making it a live event that she is planning for, ready to be at, that he has control over all the elements of, but we know the time that it's going to happen, and she is predisposed to be ready for that hapappening. You get what I'm saying?
Then why don't we just say,
here's a word from our sponsors.
We're gonna do a transition. I got another topic. We've almost got it all wrapped up here for Connor. What I'm saying is, we could actually get Jeff then, hopefully, if he's down, to put Tim Raider in there, question mark, right? And then we do a thing, and this is it's very open to all the Kind of Funny best friends of what we're doing. We're gonna help a person propose, right? And then we do the whole YouTube live, put it in there, have a countdown clock, yada yada yada, that you can full screen right away, and then it goes into the countdown, it goes into the thing, and then there'll be a bunch of people in chat. Well, I guess somebody will ruin it in chat though, not you people watching live, but somebody would ruin it.
Yeah, people.
But you could have a chat going that they ignore. That we could do a thing where it's. I guess maybe I'm overthinking.
Well, I feel like we wouldn't be watching chat. So I mean, with this, I'm thinking the thing that I want to happen is like I would really like pictures out of this, and if we're just doing it like in our living room, I think it would be hard to like get a photographer or whatever. So I think like we need to have some errand before the party or something like that. So we're running out and just like shoot, this Tomb Raider announcement's coming up, and like okay, like we're at a park or whatever. Like, let me pull out my phone and we can watch this real quick and see if they announce it. And then you can have the plant.
That's great.
Yeah.
What if we rent a theater? We rent a theater, play it at the theater. All the friends are behind you, like that one guy who recut the Sleeping Beauty movie or whatever, right? You ever see this one? Dynamite proposal.
Theater proposals are always.
How about this? We get John Voight from the first two Raider movies. And he's up there espousing some racist shit. And we're like, John Voight, stop.
I do like the idea though.
That was the one request, no racism.
Like, you know how like you'll have like trailers and shit before movies, and sometimes you'll have like special announcements and shit. I do like the idea of faking a promo for an exclusive Tomb Raider reveal right before X movie, and you use that as an opportunity to rent on that theater. I think that could like play into everything nicely, because then you don't. The thing that makes me nervous about the live stream is that there can always be something that makes her go, actually, I got this other thing that's going on. Yeah, like we'll catch it later. I think making it a planned thing where you're attending a theater makes it so that it's super difficult for her to back out.
Theaters are hard. They're expensive, and being able to play custom content on a theater is not as turnkey as you would expect in most places. I mean, maybe Maryland's
okay, all right, throw it out. But
I like the idea, though. I mean, that doesn't matter.
You bring up a good point.
Because like 10 minutes versus like a 2-hour thing. I'm sure renting probably is by like the hour or by like the 30. I don't know. But like, I don't know, throwing things out there.
You bring up a really great point that like she could, like, I don't want her to say like, oh no, I don't want to have time for this. So I think like the play might be, we got to go pick up this person. We're bringing them to the party with us. Shit, they need like an extra 10 minutes to get ready. We're like sitting on a bench. Like I pull up Twitter, like, oh shoot, this live stream's about to happen. Do you want to watch this? And then maybe it's not actually a live stream. It could just be
you could just say, oh, this is. You could be like, oh man, and then you hit it, and you pause it, and it's full screen on your phone, and you turn it to her.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be a live stream. It could be like, oh my god, check out this video on YouTube.
This plan simplifies it, and I really like it. And I think that the best thing you should do is, I love what you just said about have the plan be you guys are going to a party. Because if you're on the way, she's already dressed up, all that stuff's already prepared. Then having your one friend be like, oh, I need 5 more minutes or whatever, gives you the perfect opportunity to look and be like, oh my God, there's a new Tomb Raider trailer for a new game. Let's watch it together. Then split their headphones or whatever it is. You start watching, and then boom, it's just the trailer that instantly transitions. This to me checks all the boxes because it gets her dressed up. She's not thinking about it. You catch her off guard, but then it's it's not too much of a build up. It's just like, it's going to start to rise, and then it hits Rise of the Tomb Raider. And then you actually have there is the real party afterwards, But a key thing there and this is another key thing a lot of people forget, is you need to give her time to decompress after you actually do it. Like, don't go to the party legitimately right after. There needs to be some both alone time with you and her, but then also alone time of just her to be able to call her friends or her parents or whoever it is. Like, a couple hours, like 2 hours minimum, I would say, for her to really kind of like take it all in and, get her personal politics out of the way when it comes to like, oh man, I can't let these people know until this person knows type shit. Cause that's just reality.
That's good. That's good advice.
I like this. This is shaping up.
Okay. I want you to stew on this. All right, Connor, we're going to let you go. You go out of there. You act like nothing. This was a call with your tax person. You're very much in trouble with the IRS. Just tell her that and walk away. See, and then it's also a test, because if she's like, I'm out of here, it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? Lots of fish in the sea, a lot of them tax evading.
If she leaves you and is like, I can't be with a tax evader, then, I mean, was it really worth it?
I've messaged Camilla, but I also have a friend of a friend texting her. So we're getting this in front of her. We're making moves over here, Connor. I will keep you posted in DM. Don't propose until you know what we think of it, okay?
All right, I can do that.
All right,
for you, Greg.
Thank you for me. Yes, okay. Connor, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and thanks, of course, obviously, for being a Kind of Funny best friend and supporting us on Patreon.
Yeah, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for helping me with this. You really made my next couple months a lot easier.
Well, let's see if we can land the plane. All right, we gave you a lot of great ideas. Let's see if we can.
Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna toss you out of here,
Connor.
Guys. Yeah, all right, bye. While Connor gets out of here and wraps his head around what he's doing next, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that, of course, patreon.com/kindoffunny keeps the lights on and the mics going. You're watching right now, maybe on patreon.com/kindoffunny as we record it live. Thank you so much for hanging out, asking questions, and doing all that stuff. Remember, on patreon.com/kindoffunny, you can get exclusive shows. You can get the exclusive post show. And, of course, you can get the show ad-free. But guess what, Jack? You're not watching on patreon.com/kindoffunny. So here are our sponsors.
This episode is brought to you by Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. I know that's true for me for sure. Spanish did not go well at all. Now, thanks to Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app, there's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Whether you'll be traveling abroad, connecting in a deeper way with family, or you just have some free time, Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. Greg Miller's been doing this, trying to learn a little bit more French to be able to communicate with Jen and the family. Hopefully, soon he'll be able to go see him again, and they'll be able to talk, and he'll be able to show off all the words that he learned using Babbel. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Babbel designs their courses with practical, real-world conversations in mind, things that you'll actually get to use in everyday life. That's key. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you'll get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use promo code MORNING. That's BABBEL.com, code MORNING. Babbel.com, code MORNING for an extra 3 months free. Language for life.
Blessing.
I got that time code down. Look at that.
Junior.
Look at this guy.
You're killing it. You know what I mean? Kevin's job's not that hard. Blessing Adeoye Jr., you are now 1 whiskey in. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I feel great. I actually finished my whiskey. I didn't realize I was very low on the bottle, so I just poured the rest in there, and I think I just finished it. And so
I like that a lot. I like that a lot. We're gonna kick this question from Grant Burton on patreon.com/kindafunny straight at you. No prep time. All right.
Oh God. Okay.
Clear the mechanism.
It's cleared.
What does your Mount Rushmore of films look like? Go.
Oh, what does that mean? Like the films themselves? The
This
directors?
means Blessing Adeoye Jr. Well, I mean, it's an interesting interpretation of the question. For me personally, it was I immediately went to and I placed the movie posters up. You know what I mean? On Mount Rushmore. What are the most important movies to you? But while you think about it, Tim Gettys, please name first off, how many faces are on Mount Rushmore and who are they?
There are 4
on
Mount Rushmore. Washington is 1. I couldn't tell you the rest. I'm gonna go Lincoln.
Correct. You're nailing it.
Really?
You're nailing
Okay.
it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I am going to go Arnold.
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Palmer.
He was not the president. He was not the president.
He was the governor of California.
He was the governor of California. Yeah, and he was a great governor. I don't know. I wasn't living here yet, but no, he's up there.
I'm gonna go.
Think of the money you have, and then think of recent. One more recent.
So,
not that recent, but
more
more recent. You know what?
The golden dollar person? Thomas Jefferson.
Yes, there you go.
Not
3
Edison.
of 4.
Not Edison. Jefferson.
No, you nailed it. You nailed it. You are 3 of 4 right now with 1 strike.
I don't know that I can get the other one because the other one's like a Jefferson type, right? Less a Washington.
No, he's not
Jefferson.
a founding father. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Think of your favorite stuffed animal.
I'm gonna throw 2, and I want full credit if one of them is right.
Sure.
Either Herbert Hoover.
I appreciate that one.
Or Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Theodore Roosevelt. That is a count.
Teddy Roosevelt.
You got it. That was really good.
4
You
for
nailed
4.
And then Andy, for the
Herbie.
record, where is Mount Rushmore?
I'm running the show, Greg. Can you not ask me a question?
Blessing, what state is Mount Rushmore?
Oh, state? Oh, it's somewhere in the Northeast.
Somewhere
in the Northeast.
All right.
Look, I'll be honest with you, Greg. When that Mount Rushmore moment happened in the Invincible show, I went, "Oh, that's it. Yeah, I forgot it was over there. Would have thought it was in the Grand Canyon or something." You know?
Is it in the Northwest? It's in the North, though, right?
It's in Montana, right?
No, incorrect. North. I'll give you north. I guess
Northwest, isn't it?
North Center.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Dakota,
Okay.
North Dakota.
No, it's not North Dakota.
That's the fucked up one. It's South Dakota.
Wait, it's in South Dakota?
One.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is fucked up.
Oh,
that is fucked
And
up.
that's
I didn't
the
think
thing, a lot
anything
of
was in
people,
South Dakota.
I think, a lot of people from my home, the Midwest of America, like, oh man, people talking about flyover states and yada, yada, yada. Missouri, Illinois, all that, like, you're not a flyover state. South fucking Dakota, North Dakota, I'm sorry to break it to you, the 4 of you that live there and are apparently listening to this. Nah, you're a flyover. Nobody knows what the fuck's going on over there. Nobody cares. Except Andrew Renee. Andrew Renee would come through the wall and punch me in the head right now.
I appreciate that there are people that are so tied to those places that anytime you hear about them, you're like, oh, that's that person's state. Like, if I hear Fargo, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, Fargo's North Dakota, correct?
Yeah,
yes, Fargo's North Dakota. Yeah.
Whenever I hear Fargo or Dakota South or North, I'm like, Andrea.
I'm in Dakota South.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim, you ever watch the show Fargo?
I did not. Gia did though.
Of course, in the book, let's talk about
me.
hard things.
You gotta watch
with our last
shows of
guest, Anna
Gia.
Sale.
I do often.
No, but she watches like the really awesome, like True Detectives and Black Mirrors and Fargo's.
Everything.
Yeah, but they're always good shit.
No, it's not always good shit, Andy.
The stuff that she tells me about, it's always good shit.
The show happy endings.
Fargo's phenomenal.
Not good?
Fargo is phenomenal, dude. Not the place though.
The Mindy Project.
Don't talk shit about the Mindy Project.
Hey,
the Mindy Project is great.
Mindy Project.
That show was my fucking jam. I
don't have
the Mindy
anything nice
Project.
to say. Don't say
the alcohol hit Blessing right there.
Ready to fucking fight for the Mindy Project.
Dude, I love the Mindy Project.
I did like the Mindy Project. I do remember watching and enjoying the Mindy Project.
Yeah, I really like that show.
Tim
never answered my question, by the way.
To be fair, real quick, I just want to say, to defend myself and my dumbass opinions that I have about the Mindy Project, is sitcoms are always kind of, you need to be in it in order to enjoy it. And like when Gia's just watching on the couch next to me and I'm just overhearing it, like you become more aware
it sounds dumb.
The predictability and just how dumb it is and how dumb the jokes are and all that stuff. And so it's easier to talk shit and easier to dislike it. That's all I'm going to say. So maybe
totally
happy endings is good.
Tim, I totally agree with that. That's why I was always that's why I came under a lot of heat when I was talking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I was like, I mean, it's a good show. It feels more like a Big Bang Theory type show than something like Community or Arrested Development.
Right now, dude.
Well, no, I don't care about Brooklyn Nine-Nine that much, but I know how much people do care about Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I know you comparing it to Big Bang Theory is gonna bring out some fucking fury out of people.
Yeah, I've done it. I've already done it before.
Big Bang Theory, I think it's categorically bad.
I've made that comparison before, and like I got heat for it, but it's like, look, I'm not saying it's a bad show. It's just closer to that than it is a Curb Your Enthusiasm, an early or Arrested Development type show where it's like insanely clever. Like it feels more like a network sitcom, and like it's just missing a laugh track for me, honestly.
Tim, you never answered my question about if you're a pill. what would be the effects? I asked that out of context after we talked about it earlier in the show, and so people got that in the intro, and they're like, "It's a random question," and we moved on from it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it would probably be an uncontrollable tear duct, where it's like you're just crying all the time from emotions. Usually of hype, it's usually a good thing, but there's I get real sad easy too, like. Movies, I'd be a pill you take before you watch a movie, and no matter what movie it is, you're going to end up crying.
Oh, you're going to end up tearing up. I like that. All right, Greg, your question.
Let's sing Adeoye Jr. What are the films on your Mount Rushmore? I'm sorry, what do you got, Tim?
I want to talk about Mount Rushmore because this comes up a lot, and we talk about it on podcasts or on the internet and Twitter. Blah, blah,
this
blah.
comes up a lot, Mount Rushmore.
The Mount Rushmore of movies or games or music or this or whatever. And it's like, as always on Kind of Funny, we need to really ask ourselves what are the rules? What are the parameters?
Like, how do you define the Mount
Rushmore? I think they're personal. They're personal
totally.
for everybody.
But I wanted to actually ask myself a question I never have, which is what the fuck is Mount Rushmore for? Like, what was it supposed to represent? Because whatever it is,
it was the top four fighters in the nation.
To honor the leaders, the old leaders of our nation.
So
the ones who carved a path through us.
Everything you're saying, it's like, okay, what's the Mount Rushmore of movies then? That has a different context than what we imagine the Mount Rushmore to be of just like, oh, these are iconic faces. You get what I'm saying?
Well, here, I can give you the answer. Before though, I'm sorry, go ahead. No, please.
Sorry, I wanted to lead into. I have the Wikipedia up here, and I'm already confused because Mount Rushmore is centered on a colossal sculpture carved in the granite face of Mount Rushmore. Thank you. In the Black Hills of Keystone, but it's also known as the Six Grandfathers.
I thought there was just four dudes.
There's only fucking four dudes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain that to you. I can't explain that.
That's all I have.
We don't have all the answers, Tim.
Well, it says Lakota. And then I think it's a translation of the Lakota word for, so it's Six Grandfathers is that I would assume that before they carved faces in it, it had like six bulbous things that people are like, oh, that's clearly it. And then in true American fashion, we're like, thanks, Native Americans. Us white folk are to put our four people up there for no reason. They're like, we're not cool with this. And we're like, here's a blanket, get away. And we suck.
So before it was known as Mount Rushmore, it was an Indian thing known as the Six Grandfathers. The Indians' victory at Little Bighorn on June 25th, 1876, forced the U.S. to double its cavalry in the plains. And there's a whole bunch more information about this stuff. That
sounds exactly like I was describing. The most fucked up thing we could do as colonizers.
Yeah. So what's the Mount Rushmore of movies?
Yeah,
two things before then. Two things before. I see where you're going. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, apparently. So we went in here and we did this, and the four presidents were chosen to represent the nation's birth, growth, development, and preservation, respectively. So that would have been obviously birth being Washington, growth being Jefferson, preservation being Roosevelt.
Shit. It's like they're like the elements.
No, I fucked it up. I'm sorry. Development being Roosevelt, and then preservation being Lincoln.
Yeah, they're like the Avatar.
I thought it was just four dope dudes. I didn't know it was like the nations, the preservation nation and the fucking the bunny era, it's straight up Avatar type shit. That's cool.
Before we get too far, the one thing I wanted to call out to pause this discussion and go back to the chat, we're talking about the pill and the side effects or the effects of it. Phoenix Duff in the chat says, if Andy was a pill, I'd be addicted. And then the chat kept going and no one acknowledged or moved on it. And I had to call it out. Somebody needs to know
I'm glad you called it out. Thank you.
Hell
that,
yeah.
That
Thank
needs
you,
to be
Phoenix.
put on the record, everybody.
Thank
I
you.
apologize to everybody.
So are we talking about the movies that are the most important to me then? Or are we going by the original definition of Mount Rushmore, which is 4 random presidents that
No, they're not random. They represent the nation's birth, growth, development, and preservation.
The development, the preservation. Okay, cool.
I mean, if you, it's fine. Give me your 4 movies. Your 4 movies, Blessing Adeoye Jr., that represent your birth, growth, development, and preservation.
Okay, birth is Lion King. Lion King is probably the earliest movie I remember watching. It came out the same year I was born, and is the movie I probably watched the most in my early development. Fuck, the next one is development. Shit.
You already said that word. Too late.
Yeah. So that's.
I mean, like, this isn't like the sommelier quiz I watched because Joey told me to watch that movie. You can reform your answers. You can go through it.
I'm gonna stick with that one. I'm gonna stick with Lion King. Growth. I'm gonna do it like this. Development. I'm gonna go with Space Jam. Space Jam was probably the movie that came after Lion King that I watched the most. That was like my age 4 to 8 movie that I watched nonstop just because I fell in love with it. Loved the soundtrack. Loved the Looney Tunes. All that shit.
Ask
so
you right now, Bless,
there.
do you want to be
What's
on Space Jam in review when we do it?
Oh, 1000%. I'll be on Space Jam in review. Oh yeah,
Done.
all
Done
day.
deal.
Come on in there.
So that was development. Growth. That gets interesting. I'm gonna say growth.
Growth, like the first
where it
time you
gets
saw a
interesting, ladies
boobie.
and
The
gentlemen.
first time you saw a boob.
First time I saw a boob in a
Titanic.
movie. That wasn't the first time. When was the first
That
time I
was
saw
my
a boob
first
in a
time.
movie? I don't remember the first time I saw a boob in a movie.
The
We
first
call
time
it
with my
Titanic.
parents was Titanic. Like that was like in the theater seeing Kate Winslet. I was like, oh my gosh. And my mom was like kind of like making fun of me, like cover your face, like, you know, but I was like, yeah, shit, right?
I was gonna say Scott Pilgrim, because that was more of a coming of age movie for me. That movie came out at like that was like 2010, 2011, and I would have been like 16, 17 then, and I couldn't get enough of that movie. Love that movie. That movie kind of defined that era for me. And then the last
Blessing,
one,
I'll ask this then. Do you want to be on Edgar Wright in review?
I think we already did that one. I think we already did that
I'm
one.
sorry.
I would have
I'm
I would have loved to have been on Scott Pilgrim, but
I would have loved to have Blessing there.
Even though I listened to that episode and at least multiple of you had bad opinions on it.
I would have loved for Blessing to have popped up and been like, you know what, The World's End, not good either. And we all would have been like, yeah, you know.
What do you think of World's End?
Look, here's the thing, Blessing. Like, we all liked Scott Pilgrim, okay? We all like it. Just, I mean, it's just not as good as Hot Fuzz. It's not as good as Shaun of the Dead. Oh, you didn't like it?
Here's the thing. Hot Fuzz is also great. I definitely understand the opinion that Hot Fuzz is better than Scott Pilgrim. That's one that I can accept and respect. I personally love Scott Pilgrim the most, but like, you know, Greg out here, Nick out here, the oldies out here, hating on Scott Pilgrim. I feel like
it's a burning indictment of your generation. They all think you can just lay around on mattresses and fall into, you know, success and money and keep living your lives. You have to get out there and you have to work, all right?
Bless, did you
know what it was
if
like
your
in my
generation
time?
didn't fuck up the economy, we would not be sleeping on mattresses on the floor.
Get shit on, bitch. Bless, did you not like my passing statement that Michael Cera should have been Scott Pilgrim? Because I'll never hear that. I'll never stop hearing that until the end of my days. Oh no, that Zac Efron should have been Scott Pilgrim.
No, absolutely not.
I will never not.
He should not have been Scott Pilgrim.
I will hear that until the end of my days.
You also made the point that Scott Pilgrim wouldn't have been pulling girls left and right in the way that he was depicted as.
He was like a lady killer. Yeah,
he was a lady killer. I disagree. I think Scott Pilgrim, knowing Scott Pilgrim, knowing Michael Cera, I think he would have been doing just fine out there.
Okay, well, hey, you know, agree to
adorable
disagree.
Young man.
Agree to disagree.
And then the last one is preservation. I don't know how to translate that to a movie. I'm gonna go Marvel's Avengers. I just picked four movies throughout my lifetime that have defined me. That's basically my answer here.
Here's what I want you to know is that, of course, I wanted to put you guys on the spot, but since I pulled the question, I had done mine ahead of time, but I did it without, you know, the whole birth, growth, development, preservation thing. But then once we put that on, I didn't have to change my 4 movies. So for me, Greg, the 4 movies on my Mount Rushmore that I think define me, right? Birth, Superman, 1976, Christopher Reeve. Watched it all the time. I remember renting it over and over and over again from the Super America video store gas station that they had, which is weird that they had a thing, right? Growth, Ghostbusters, right? I was a little bit older, This could have scared me, you know what I mean? But it didn't. And then I watched that over and over again. And clearly I never outlived it. And you know, it means me. Development, Mallrats. Putting Mallrats on there, a definitive movie in my life, right? Of like watching number one, people talk about like sex stuff that I was not doing by any stretch of the imagination, but talking about comics and showing that it was cool. That you could be an adult who liked comic books and having comic book conversations on the thing, and having Stan Lee, which I know is so quaint now, but we talked about that in the Kevin Smith review as well. And then, Jonathan Staub corrects me. You wrongs me. 78 Superman. Sorry, I said 76. And then Spider-Man Homecoming for preservation. Preserving the whimsy of superhero movies.
Ooh, that's
and
really good.
How much I love that movie and how much, you can, reinvigorate things like that. So there you go. Wow. Andy, do you want to go next? What's your Mount Rushmore?
Can you give me the words again, Greg?
Sure. Birth, growth, development, preservation. And if Selena isn't on here somewhere, I'll be offended.
Birth, growth, preservation,
development.
Development is third, right?
Yeah.
Development and preservation. Okay, birth. Let's see here. Gosh, cause I really wish we weren't doing this. I wish we were just doing 4 movies.
Do it your own way.
Just do it your way. You want to cheat? That's fine.
Okay, because I mean, usually when people do the Mount Rushmore thing, it usually is just like the top 4, and you try to make them different. You don't do like 3 Star Wars movies, you know.
That's definitely one of those things where it's like, you listen to a lot of podcasts that just fucking dump words into a trough. And we're trying to give people obviously a little bit something finer, a little something more refined here, right?
Audio listeners, he held up a wine.
We're talking about the colors. We're talking about what I smell here, right? Some cherry,
colors,
some oak. A medium acidity, medium plus.
Do
acidity.
white people ever talk about the colors? I'm not sure.
Fucking watch the Saw
red
movie.
And the white.
Yeah, they do. They're talking
the 2
about
colors of wine.
Watch the Saw movie.
They were doing a whole thing. Yeah. Oh, you weren't on the stream yesterday when we were playing the wine simulator. Joey was telling me a documentary called Some, which is like a sommelier. It's about these guys these 4 people trying to get the master sommelier degree. And so we watched it last night. And they are like, yeah, it's got a yellow. No, that's bad. They are like, here's the color, but then they describe the color on the edges as well that I'm blanking on right now, and then the smell in the bouquet, and then like oak and all this other stuff, acidity.
Love the bouquet.
Said Saw. Thought that was weird.
I heard that too. I heard that too.
I was very curious.
Okay, let's see. Okay,
what I'll say is that both me and Greg's answers seem like they would have been our answers anyway. Even if we're doing it outside of the context. And so,
I feel that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to go with movies from like different eras of my life. And actually, you know what? I'm not gonna put the Selena movie on there.
Understandable.
I'm not gonna put the Selena movie on there. When I think of movies that I saw a lot as a kid, gosh, I'm thinking of like, I don't know why I'm thinking Christmas Vacation is always one that was seen as a kid. And I'm just trying to think of like family, what were stuff that we watched all together. I want to put Saving Private Ryan on there. I think that is like front to back one of the best movies of all time. One of my favorites whenever it's on. It's rough to watch, but god dang, all the performances are fantastic. I will also put The Prestige in there because that's the first Nolan movie I saw. That's the first Nolan movie I saw, and that sort of I just thought it was like, oh my gosh, this is so goddamn impressive. I didn't know that a movie could be made in this way, and it just blew my mind. And then everything he's done ever since. So no, what was the movie that he came out before that was backwards? Memento. I know everybody was like, you didn't see Memento first? No, I didn't see Memento first. Prestige was my first one. I will also go with The Departed. Just love that movie. You ever seen The Departed, Bless?
I have not seen The Departed.
Good ass movie. One best.
I was going to reference the Prestige earlier when we were talking about proposals, because the process of the Prestige, right, is you show something, you make it disappear, and then you make it reappear. Yeah, which is like the double like shocker. Weird way to put that, but that's the process of the Prestige. I was gonna try and relate that to the proposal, but I couldn't figure out a good way to do it, and so I let Tim do the job.
Am I at like 5 movies by now? I don't know. I'll also put. Oh gosh, this is so fucking tough, dude. Yeah. Because you want to pick something from like one genre, and I think of my early '90s comedies that I was really into: Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy, Black Sheep, Ace Ventura. I think Jim Carrey got me interested in comedy and trying to be like the funny guy of the family. And so I'll put Ace Ventura on there. I think Dumb and Dumber is a better movie, but Ace Ventura was kind of the movie that everybody was like, payaso, he's a clown. Andy's a clown, you know? And I think that's 4. I think I named 4 right
great.
there.
Nick Gallegos in the comments says, wow, didn't know Andy hated the Lord of the Rings, but I'm glad you're finally on the right side of history about that one, Andy. Tim, what's on your Mount Rushmore?
Whoa, yeah, the whole trilogy is like, it gets its own, and the first Hobbit movie, its own Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's one of the
it's like
porta
Washington
potties.
Monument.
It's one of the porta potties right outside. You know what I mean? That's where people go.
Damn. Hard to think, you know?
You know, it's like I've been thinking about this, and I don't want to piss off the commenters.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I know like what would anger them if I.
Well, luckily they have a
it.
really thick skin and they like to hear thought out arguments. So, you probably won't. You probably
yeah.
won't.
So I just got to be real, and I just got to like speak from my heart, obviously. So birth, the Fast and the Furious. Obviously, it is the birth of a family. Honestly,
yeah.
right? Growth. I'm gonna go the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Great.
I feel like it really showed a lot for the franchise, and you know, characters like Han, we didn't expect to see that much development. We didn't really expect to have somebody that we can latch onto with so much character, so much lore, so much, you know, backstory that they didn't even really need to tell.
Also, more importantly, Tim, like when you're talking about growth, like the idea that a grown 38-year-old man played a high school kid.
Thank you.
You know,
exactly. Andy,
Yeah,
That's really good.
see,
I got
we're
you,
right
bro.
there.
I got you, bro.
Development. I'm gonna go Fast 5. Like, who would have thought that by the end of it, The Rock would have let Vin Diesel go?
When he picks up, when he reaches down his hand in that moment.
That laugh, Andy. You know what I mean? He's standing on that bridge and he opens the safe and
he knows.
He knows. He knows.
You
he
cheeky
knows
bitch.
He's part of the family. He has someone he can call on. And then, of course, Preservation Furious 7, right? Is there any way we could preserve our love of family and our love of one Paul Walker better than the end of that movie? I think not, my friends. I think not.
Phenomenal list, honestly.
It's a great list.
Thank you.
There's something all right.
And now the commenters can't get mad at me. It's impossible.
How could you possibly?
Hard to believe there's no MCU in there, you know?
Yeah. Or Speed
You were a
Racer.
fan.
Yeah, I thought I was too. You know what? That the only thing that's gonna piss them off more is if I had an MCU one there, because like I'm such a fanboy. I'm such a sellout.
Following a series of military campaigns from 1876 to 1878, the United States asserted control over the area, a claim that is still disputed on the basis of the 1868 Treaty of Fort Laramie.
Oh my gosh, I would have loved to have been quizzed on all that.
Laramie?
Me and Nick were supposed to take the SATs as one of the goals, and it did not win. But it was going to be an absolute disaster if we had to take that quiz.
That's hilarious.
I also don't even know how you do that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, there's practice tests, I'm
Is it just
assuming,
available
online. Yeah, I'm
you can
not,
just
I'm
grab
not
a
sure,
practice
Bless.
test. You're fine. I mean, but the first
Imagine how long that would take, though. Like the SAT, like that's a multiple hour process. Are you and Nick going to take the SATs on like for a full stream?
That's what it seemed like it was going to be. I'm not sure, you know, like
that'd be awesome.
I think it would have to be something we do off stream and then like show our results. But I don't know. I'm glad it didn't win. You know what?
Do you think you as an adult right now would do better than you did as a high schooler on the SAT?
Absolutely not, dude.
Yeah,
my memory is completely shot. I don't know how to use ZBrush or 3ds Max anymore, or any of the 3D programs that I learned for years and had a job in. Like I forget so quickly. And if you had to ask me how to do a quadratic equation or no fucking chance, no shot, dude, no shot.
Andy, if I gave you 1 minute to figure out what 50,976 divided by 27
69.
was, do you think you could do it?
69? Is it 420 or 69?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean like just a pencil on?
Yeah.
I don't even know how that works anymore.
Long division, baby.
Is it a check mark? The division sign? Is it one of those like long, a check mark with a long thing on the long tail?
Checking the cash.
Mm-hmm.
No, I couldn't be able to do that. I could maybe do like 300 divided by 4 or 8 or
like
12.5. Oh, but if you had a decimal in there, I'm fucked. No chance.
Yeah, I can't
dude.
do decimals. Once you add decimals, that's too much. That's doing too much for me. I can't rock with that. What subject do you guys think you would score the highest in if you took the SATs?
I'd say grammar or English.
Grammar, okay.
Anything having to do with writing.
Just English, math, yeah.
There are 5 general subjects, and there are 20 areas within the subjects. So the general ones are English, history, languages, mathematics, science.
Yeah, no shot with science. But I'll tell you, here's a funny story. We did a field trip one time with my drama class. And, well, no, it wasn't even a drama class. It was just like our drama director was running this sort of event. And what it was, we went to go compete at some thing against other students, and you would have to take tests. And our teacher enrolled us in the computer science test against other kids. And we're like, what's computer science? And our drama teacher was like, it's like, it's quiz stuff. Like, what does www stand for? What I was like, cool. Yeah, I'm tech savvy. I can figure this out.
You got
and
this.
when we
You
got
can nail
there,
this, yeah.
It was just straight up equations. It was mathematic stuff with like
literal computer science.
And when I'm telling you that, what it was, Bless, is like, what does barbecue divided by stuff? Like, it was weird shit like that made no sense. But the way the quiz worked was, for every question you got right, you got a certain amount of points. For every question you got wrong, you got deducted a point. So you would start at 0. I turned in the test with nothing answered. Guess who got first place, baby? Guess who got first place?
That's smart.
Not you.
That's really smart.
It was me. I didn't answer anything, and I was the top one because I didn't get to miss any questions, and it was fucking awesome.
That's a tortoise in the hare ass story right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your Kind of Funny podcast. If you didn't know, each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table. Each coming to bullshit about whatever bullshit they want to bullshit about. If you like that, of course, you should go to patreon.com/kindafunny, where, of course, you can write in with your questions. Maybe I'll bring you on the show like I did Connor Daly. Of course, on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can get each and every episode early. How early? You could be watching us record it live right now, like Reverse Corey is, Torbanak is, The Lou is, Lexi GR. Of course, you can get it ad-free. You can get it with the post show we're about to do. However, if you have no bucks tossed our way, it's no big deal. You can head on over to youtube.com/kindafunny, Rooster Teeth, and podcast services around the globe twice a week to get brand spanking new episodes. We have a post show to do.
Hey,
Patreon.com/kindafunny.
Before we like officially end the show, how do I do? Like, what do I just keep recording or? What's up?
You don't do anything because the kids on Patreon, they still see the post show.
Okay, and the outro just gets edited out by Cool G. All right, so let me just do a little time code for that. So say goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Pleasure to serve you, or whatever I usually say. I don't know.